Corpse man. Trying to get this business right for some years, but who really cares? Incorporated my company with 100 million shares, but who really cares? I taught myself to wholesale real estate in about a year, but who really cares? My trust revocable for the benefit of a chosen few, but who really there? Who really there? You?
80 is different in 2023 than in 1776. President Joe Biden's announcement that he's running for another term raises concerns for many Americans. At his potential second inauguration, he would be 82, beating himself in becoming the oldest among American presidents. Washington wasn't that old, really, although the average life expectancy in that era was 38. Old people today, so to speak, are much younger than they used to be, especially when they are wealthy. The field of anti-aging is waxing, and data suggests that science might be able to extend not only lifespan, but also the years a person remains healthy and free from disease. Furthermore, a youthful frame of mind can have a powerful effect, increasing longevity. But no matter what, 82 remains a high number. Old machines, giving way. Americans have long nurtured mixed feelings about age and aged leaders. For starters, the men who fought in the Revolution and molded the young nation were themselves very young. Alexander Hamilton, the mastermind behind the Constitution of the United States, was only 30 when he attended the famous Philadelphia Convention, where that document was written. In opposition to the Old England vices, America was envisioned as springing out from the creativity of the young. It represented huge potential. Great Britain has passed the meridian of her day, wrote Edward Rutledge, at 26, the youngest delegate to sign the Declaration of Independence. And while England was old beyond recall, we are young, he concluded. During a period when medicine and knowledge of human anatomy were very limited, old age terrified everyone.
Our machines have now been running for 70 or 80 years.
And old Thomas Jefferson, 71, explained to an even older John Adams, age 78.
And we must expect that, worn as they are, here a pivot, there a wheel, now a pinion, next a spring, will be giving way.
People in their 70s were usually tired when the American nation was young, but it would be wrong to assume that the founding generation simply despised old age. Young America admired Moses of the Bible, first and foremost. In August 1776, a debate for designing a new Great Seal for the Republic took place. A commission was formed, and Benjamin Franklin, a member of the commission, proposed to draw a Moses, with his wand lifted, in the act of dividing the Red Sea, and the Pharaoh, in his chariot, overwhelmed with the waters. Franklin also suggested a motto: rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. Like Washington and Jefferson, who led a revolution against a tyrannical king and his country, Moses had similarly led a liberty-loving people out of the shackles that tyrannical Egypt had kept them in. America has repeatedly relied upon very old leaders. At the 1787 Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, Franklin was 81. This senior statesman from Pennsylvania didn't talk much. One of the most charismatic men of the 18th century, Franklin was universally recognized as a prophet, a Moses dressed in American clothing. Despite his extreme age, and particularly sensible of his weakness, as James Madison said, Franklin stood out from much younger delegates. His appearance communicated an antique simplicity, a French witness held. While Franklin was much more than just someone performing a task, old leaders, back then, could still look to the future and attend to many types of tasks as well. In 1798, after he had completed 2 terms as president, a worn-out Washington, age 66, was ready to serve again in a military capacity. War with France was probable, and President John Adams had asked for his help. Washington experienced sensations, which means mixed feelings at the prospect of entering, At so late a period of life, the boundless field of public action, endless trouble, and high responsibility, and yet he agreed to serve. Fortunately for the country, war didn't come. Similarly, what Thomas Jefferson achieved during the last years of his life, in his late 70s, is extraordinary. In what he described as the hobby of my old age, he devised, organized, and built a public university, the University of Virginia. He worked hard on his last project, which opened to students on March 7, 1825. Jefferson would die 1 year later, proud by this accomplishment. The University of Virginia, Jefferson believed, would create better leaders who would halt the threatening cloud of fanaticism polluting the atmosphere. Biden is old. His speech is imperfect. For sure, he will execute tasks, but slowly, at his own pace. In many ways, he can't be a match for younger competitors. What's more, he's neither Franklin, nor Washington, nor Jefferson. Yet, had he lived in that earlier age, like the ones before him, his value would have likely outweighed his deficits in the eyes of his country. A youthful country fighting against the leadership of its British colonial overlords, but also aware of the wisdom that certain old leaders could still provide.
Corpsumer. Been trying to get this business right for some years, but who really cares? Incorporated my company with 100 million shares, but who really cares? I taught myself to wholesale real estate in about a year, but who really cares? My trust revocable for the benefit of a chosen few, but who really there? Who really there? You?